What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Monday out there, everyone, everywhere. It's the Jerome's daily live stream. Welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. It's a just burp. It happens. I've been burping a lot on stream. I'll have to stop eating right before we go. But we're back. Happy Monday out there. It is training camp week. Now, they just reported that Vikings rookies will report on Thursday instead of Tuesday now. A lot of the league is reporting on the 21st. And in fact, you even have teams like the Chiefs and the Texans reporting. Some of the rookies are reporting to the respective facilities today. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed everything goes well. Sign all the rookies. Hopefully everyone stays Rona free, which if you checked out the Peter King Football Morning in America, as well as our companion video, he toured TCO Performance Center. Eric Sugarman is now director of the Rona, I guess. So all the precautions and procedures that they put in place, I think the Vikings do have a good handle. Well, maybe not handle, but they're doing as much as they possibly can to prevent the spread and make sure that we do have football this season. So congrats. Love the Vikings. The Vikings are a first-class organization top to bottom, and I had no doubts about them getting this right. All right, so a Monday live stream, you guys, live chat, you guys are the best. So the add-on question that we had is, what is your favorite camping meal? So I really loved camping when I was a kid. Now that the kids are getting to the age where they can go camping and they're not just annoying, I'm gonna do a lot more camping now. Favorite camping meal? It's always simple stuff. Like if it's a fishing trip, obviously, cooking a fish over the fire is always great. Just a little cast iron, a little butter and salt and lemon. That's all you need, baby. Woo! As well as s'mores, always great. Hot dogs, always great. But also, hobo dinner. People call it different things, but just tin foil, and you got your meat, and you got your starch, usually a potato, and then you throw some vegetables in there. And then you just wrap it up in tin foil. You throw it in the fire ashes for a hot second, and then you're just good to go. I don't know, just very simple things like that are always phenomenal. So that's mine. We'll get into your guys as well. Great way to start the week. Let's go. Andrew Hansen is up first. Andrew Hansen got that purple check mark as well. Become a monthly or platinum Jerome. Find out how. Just hit that join box down below. What is your guilty pleasure song? Guilty pleasure song. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. How can you ever be in a bad mood if you just hear that song come on and you know that you're singing the whole time? Like you could have your child could have murdered your favorite dog, and then you had to send your child off to juvenile prison, and everyone that you love not even get the Rona, but get bubonic plague, and then you're having a tax audit, and then you just had a colonoscopy. But if you hear "Come on, Eileen," you're like, this ain't so bad. It's your baggy omelets, baggy with omelet ingredients, throw into boiling water or campfire propane burner for the win. Yeah, somehow I love to just outdoor camping cooking. Right, there's just something about it, you're cooking essentially like normal, but just the degree of difficulty ratcheted up, as well as all the fresh air and shit. Just either cooking over the fire, if you do that. Also, I will say French press over the fire camping coffee just tastes better. It just does. But just there's just something about making bacon and eggs out in the wild and just having coffee. Just something different. Charlie Boltman. These guys are a must-watch for me, and I don't even have to see the preview. Tom Cruise, Pitt, DiCaprio, Eastwood, up to no good, Denzel, and Wahlberg. Pretty much agree. I like pretty much every movie that these actors have ever done, I'm in. Who are your must-watches? Also, I personally believe Brad Pitt is the most underrated actor. Who's your most underrated other than Mel Gibson? Michael Fassbender. I feel like Fassbender is always good. Like, he really gets into roles. So Fassbender. Who else? Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I feel like pretty much everything that he's in, I'm in. Who else? Oh, Steve Carell. Steve Carell in serious roles is really, really good. Like him in Last Flag Standing. I believe it's him and Cranston and one other dude, as well as Steve Carell in Foxcatcher. I mean, Steve Carell probably should have won an Oscar for that movie. It's just he's just a really good actor. Next up is Eric Anderson. Jalapeno cheddar brats over the fire. Can't go wrong. The more I watch Courtney Davis, the more I can't believe he was undrafted. What kind of impact do you see him having over the next few years? Yeah, it's just the fact that there were so many damn good wide receivers this year. Like, in a normal year, Courtney Davis probably would have been a 6th or 7th round pick. But Davis, didn't check all the boxes for the metrics, but does have a nice handle, does get off the line of scrimmage nicely, was pretty productive, even though A&M had some, I don't know about Kellen Mond, man. I just don't know. But I think that with the truncated offseason, I think that it will be hard for him to make the roster right away. I think he'll be on the practice squad, but of course, you can build from there. Next up, Nick Doroff, hot dogs. I mean, just open campfire hot dogs. I'm like, you can't go wrong. Which Minnesota Vikings player would be the best roommate, and which one would be the worst roommate? Best roommate, probably Kirk, because I feel like Kirk is OCD. Probably keeps himself a lot. Also, he's got that cheddar, so we're gonna have a nice apartment. So, worst roommate. Worst roommate. Maybe. I feel like Elfline. I guess Jerome's off the team. Rock Thomas. Who said Rock Thomas? For reasons. Yeah. I don't know. Elfline just because. Elfline because I've talked so much ish. I think it would make it awkward. Yeah. Tristan, when you have free time, can you watch South Park season 18, episode 1? Go Fund Yourself is the episode title. It's so funny to make fun of Washington. They predicted the episode they changed their name. Kirk Cousins even in it. I vaguely remember that episode. I think I watched it. Charlie Boltman, which wide receiver class you're taking? 2018. DJ Ridley, Sutton, Kirk, Chark, Gallup, 2017. Ugh. I guess. Not even guess. I think it's pretty clearly 2017. Just because you got Godwin and Galladay, just basically pushing their thumb on the scale. Yeah. Preacher Paul, hauling it for all y'all. Chorizo for breakfast meal. If I'm on the West Coast, say around Eureka, California, definitely fresh caught Dungeness crab and pour out some filet mignon for my bride. That'll work. All right, so Preacher Paul just like balling out of control, just like glamping out there. We got like hot dogs and we got MREs and some Mountain House freeze dry. That's what we're doing. We're crapping in the empty bags, just burying them. Griffin Career. I love a good steak and chicken kebab. Yeah, kebabs are extremely easy and a crowd pleaser. You forget about kebabs, because if we're thinking about, if we're just at home and think about something to cook for dinner and then just like, oh, kebabs. Like, why wouldn't you have kebabs more? Question, how good do you think Mike Hughes can be? Cornerback 1. The Stanley Steamer gets your carpets cleaner. The chip on my shoulder is growing daily. I will supplant those quarterback imposters and lead this band of misfits to the Jerome, Nate the Great, Rookie of the Year. Also, Iron Skillet, Bacon and Eggs on the last night's campfire skull. I'm sort of intrigued by Nate Stanley. I would love if Nate Stanley just somehow Forrest Gumped this thing and just suddenly became, I don't know, like a competent starter. Right? He's got as strong of arm as Dan Marino. Probably not as accurate, not as quick of a release, not as good, but yeah, and that is the nice thing about going camping. And there is something about the fresh air, and generally you're outside, you're exerting yourself, you're getting some exercise, so you're gonna sleep like a baby. Plus, if you're putting away the screens and the tablets and whatnot, so no blue light's gonna affect your sleep. So I feel like 6 hours of camping sleeping, even though you're sleeping on the ground. I'm not an air mattress guy. I'm a ground pad. Just like, you'll be fine. Like 6 hours sleeping camping is the equivalent of 9 hours sleeping in like a normal scenario. I feel like it just is. So you wake up early, ass crack at dawn. You got that fire smoldering. You have that first daily piss. Like you piss out in the lake. It's great. It's like, hey, take that, fish. Yeah. How's your pH? How's your pH levels? Little sunnies in your face. That just feels great. Even though your socks are never dry. Mason Roy, $2 in the super chat. Any news on Dalvin? Nada. But like I said, no news is good news. So hopefully that they're working things out. Zach Dragon. I've had many great camping meals. I'm not sure I have a favorite, but anything over a campfire, especially in a Dutch oven, is always great. Like the. So, pudgy pies, obviously are pretty common, are great, but some people do, if you have a cast iron skillet with a lid or a Dutch oven, like he said, doing like a cobbler, it's like getting it, like you can take, so with camping, you generally want to pack a light, because otherwise what's the point? But you can repurpose stuff. So if you have like some pancake mix, say you got the big box or container of Bisquick, you can take some of that, mix it up with some berries, and hell, you can find some berries on the trails. Black caps are really great and abundant around here. Sometimes you can find some wild blueberries. Also, be versed on your berries, otherwise you may go into catatonic shock. But yeah, and then like mix those up with the pancake batter. You'll put a little butter or lard in the cast iron or the Dutch oven first, and you make just like a cobbler. Just get some. Zach Dragon, I've had me. Who are your top five? What are your top five Vikings teams? So all the old people say that 75 Vikings were the best team ever. So, but I can only go off of what I've seen with my own two eyes. So I will say 98 was the best team, then 09, then 2017. Then 2000, I guess you'd have to go with. And I guess I was alive for the 89 Vikes. But, or was it 87? Whatever the strike shortened year was. Luke K, s'mores. I've never really been camping, but I assume I would bring s'mores or catch a walleye. Yeah, walleyes are so great. I'm looking forward to. All right, so we're taking next week on the live stream off because we're getting the hell out of Dodge. We're going camping, we're going fishing, getting out of here. It's been I didn't catch a walleye last year, but looking forward to just getting back and after it. Like the walleye cheeks are just like gold. Yeah. Question: What's the most underaged kitchen item you have? Underrated? Underrated kitchen item. So I'm pretty much a simplest. It's not the word. Minimalist when it comes to basically everything, but especially gear in the kitchen. Like I don't like things that only have one purpose. So obviously things that have to have multi purposes. So one kitchen item you have. I don't know, just like a really sharp knife. Or a really good sharpening stone. Like, if you just have a sharp knife, I feel like that takes care of like 90% of issues that you're gonna have in the kitchen. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I just have a sharp knife. Mason Roy, $5 in the super chat. I love videos, man. I'm a huge Vikings fan. I live in Boston, so I get a lot of hate. But do you see the Vikings caving and extending Cook? I'm praying. I think they will find some common ground. I think it will be around the Derrick Henry area. I mean, Derrick Henry just like completely torpedoed Dalvin. It's kind of sad, but there I am. Luke K, can you walk through how you make your steaks? Usually my dad cooks them, but I've been taking over, and mine seem to be either really good at times or just okay or good. Well, so don't trust thermometers. You'll find out that even instant read thermometers, well, I would trust like instant read thermometers. So like the ones that are just like a stick, you see that chefs use all the time, over like the digital ones. Digital ones can be extremely variant, but in general, what I do. All right, so there's two ways I'll make steak. One of them is just gas grill. I've got some heavy cast iron grates. So get that grill preheated, and I mean, as soon as you think it's hot enough, let it go for a couple more minutes. You want that thing as hot as it possibly can be. So we just have a run of the mill gas grill, and that thing can get up to 750. So 750, get those grates as hot as Hades. Last second, put a little bit of clarified butter. Just, you can either put it right on the steak or just like brush it on the grates really quick, and then put that thing at the 45-degree angle. Press it down, but not like smash it, but just like take your tongs and make sure like all the corners are adhering to the grates, and let that thing sit. Usually about 2 minutes. If it's a thicker cut, you can go 3. The nice thing about beef is that it's relatively forgiving. So, all right, so 2 minutes, 45. Pick it up as, here's the thing too. So if you have a sizable grill and you can have multi zones, have that other side heating up as well, because since you applied the meat to the grates in the first place, that's going to lower the temperature. So if you have another side of the grill that's already good to go, that's already at temperature, I'll also keep that thing at high the entire time. Go over to the other side, rotate it 180 degrees, so it's got a 45 the other way. So you get that nice grill marks. Go another 2 minutes, 3 if it's a thicker steak. Flip over. So now you already have your mark side on, so the rest of it is really inconsequential. But now it's just about temperature. So the thing about steak is you want it cooked evenly on both sides, but also you have to factor in that the side that you just flipped to is going to be cooked to a degree because of the 4 to 6 minutes that you've been sitting on the other side. So now it's really about touch. So if you touch this part of your hand right here, it's rare, medium rare, medium, well done. And just in terms of firmness of this part right underneath your thumb. So touch it right here. First finger, that's going to be rare. So you get that same feeling. You touch that meat and just try and ballpark it. Medium rare, medium, as well as, there you go. Well done. Well, get rid of this finger, right? So maybe this finger for like kids and stuff, maybe this finger. But I go slightly below medium rare because there's going to be some carryover cooking time. But overall, like I cook my steaks for about 8 minutes and then they rest for 10 and then just cut them. And a lot of it's trial and error. You're going to try some things and it's not going to work out, or this works. You'll find this and that. It's fine. Also, the other way that I cook steaks is that, so we have a pellet grill, pellet smoker, and this is the one time you do have to trust the thermometer. So we'll bring it up to like 120 internal, and I'll only do this with thicker steaks. So say 120, and then you get a cast iron skillet, just ripping hot. Put a little clarified butter in there, maybe a little bit of olive oil. Well, now it's got a low smoke point. Well, actually, here's the coup de grace. Either clarified butter or a little bit of bacon grease. And you can just rub it on the outside of the steak. And then you just to get the sear. And then eventually they'll get that thing up to temp at medium rare. Let it sit, and you're good to go. Or actually, no, there's a third way. So this is the way that a lot of restaurants will do steaks, is that you'll either have a pan, you can have a stainless, you can have a cast iron, and you get that thing ripping hot, and then same principle applies, except you're not rotating it to get grill marks unless you have a grill pan, except grill pans are worthless, so no, don't use those. But then what you do is once you flip the steak over, put a little bit, like half a stick. You can put a whole stick of butter in there. Let that thing melt, and then put in some herbs. I like thyme a lot. Thyme or rosemary. Rosemary works really well with red meat. So put a sprig of rosemary like right into the melted butter, and then that's when you see the tilting of the pan and then the basting of the top of the steak. Get a lot of flavor in that way. It helps with the cooking, as well as you just add more fat to the steak, which why not? Next up is Zach Hazless. And yeah, it's not going to work out first time. It's not going to be perfect. It's all about reps. Just getting better every single time. Zach Hazlius, would you give Harris a long-term deal? Keep in mind he is older. After the tag expires next year, probably not. So I think this is going to be his last year in purple. Sir Meeps a lot. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Harris is going to get traded. And one idea that keeps coming to mind is Harris and a premium pick for Ngakoue. Maybe a 2 would have enough money to franchise tender salary, and next offseason we could extend him. I mean, it's possible. Although, the rumor is that Jacksonville has offered a Pro Bowl player for Ngakoue, so I guess that's not Harris. But so disrespectful. I would laugh if the Bears offered them Trubisky. Because Trubisky's technically a Pro Bowler. Stanley Morris. Favorite camping meal has got to be burgers and dogs, but the dogs need to be naturally cased. That's true. You have to get Schweigert dogs, or basically every good butcher shop will do their own hot dogs, and they're just really, really good. So they get crisp, snap, and delicious. Damn straight. Eric Hansen, favorite camping meal is beer. I don't know what it is. I don't like getting too drunk while camping. Maybe it's just the thought of waking up hungover while sleeping on the ground. Or maybe it's just that, I don't know, camping is so good that you don't need to be hammered. I don't know. To answer your question from last week, no, I didn't get to keep the deer. All right, so I think the story was he hit a deer. By the time we had a chance to get back to where Dad hit the deer, it was gone. But he definitely killed it, so we know it didn't walk off. There you go. Jason Sage, classic burger. Also on Twitter, I made a little fan a remake of your intro. I sent it through the DMs. If you had to pick I'm attached to my intro mainly because the intro song was a song that was sung by my ancestors as a crossover Ellis Island. I don't know. I just made that up. I'm too lazy. I like the intro as it is. If you had to pick the 5 best Vikings head coaches, who would make your list? Well, they've only had 7. So it'd be Bud, Denny, Zimmer, Jerry Burns. God damn, we'd have to go Childress at 5. That's depressing, isn't it? Patrick Harms. Jalen Rieger's rookie contract is 4 years at 13.3. I think this means we would see JJ sign very soon. You got the rookie wage scale, so it's not so much precedent as just time. As soon as they get into the building on Thursday, they'll be good to go. Ethan Griffith. Why do you think Minnesota hasn't embraced the Wolves like we have other major sports? Even the Loons seem more popular. Also live chat, let us know where we're watching from. I'll give a couple shouts. I always like doing that. So I don't know what it is about the Wolves. It might be that this just isn't a basketball town. We embraced the Wolves when they were good, like prime KG years, making the Western Conference Finals, yada, yada, yada. You're fully in. But I don't know. Generally, the team isn't that good. And, why do people want to be invested in losers, right? There's certainly going to be hardcore NBA fans, win, lose, or draw. But just getting the casual sports fan, it's going to be tough. Especially since, I guess he did have the Minneapolis Lakers. But when the Wolves came in the late 80s as an expansion team, it had been decades since Minnesota had professional basketball. But also, I think it's funny that the Wolves used to play in the Metrodome. Wolves. Do you think that they ever sold out? Well, just look at this. Wow, best seat in the house. Woo. Oh man, that's good. Oh, I suppose I should put it in the frame. There you go. Man, that's wild. Also, I will say the old school throwback Wolves uniforms are the best. Besides the KG era, the ones with the trees, they should consider going back to these. Is that Tony Campbell? Yeah, Tony Campbell. Man, they were bad. They won 10 games. Next up, Kyle Rippentrop. Brats, the classic camping tailgating food. Would you rather witness the night the Titanic sunk or know when the Vikings will win their first Super Bowl? The latter, because I can bet on that. Also, Titanic sinking is like, it's gonna be sad, man. It's gonna be, oh, they dead, they dead, they dead. Hey, Rose, why aren't you sharing that board with Leonardo DiCaprio? Huh? Yeah, brats are just really, really good. Also, here's what's great about camping. So you can do brats over the grill or over the fire, over the embers, but over the grill, like with those camping propane grills. And also, what's great too is to make either you have a pot. Or if you're packing light, just make a little tinfoil tent, and then you finish those things off in a nice little beer bath, and just like that smells always good. Throw some onions in there, maybe a little bit of kraut in that mix. Get sour on some krauts. Get some. Next up, Pulford Skull. Training camp starts this week for the youngins. Excited to see the rookies get after it. Also agree we should bring in a senior cornerback. Logan Ryan be perfect. If he'll be cheap. Yeah. Cast iron tinfoil, bake over the fire. Oh, yeah. It's basically like the hobo dinner I was talking about. Hunter Williams, Skull from Coon Rapids, up Norte. Oh, North Metro. My favorite camping meal would have to be baked beans and hot dogs, the food that makes you fart. Also, do you see the Vikings trying to sabotage Dalvin Cook for a trade with the Patriots before the season? No. Yeah, but... yeah, baked beans. There's just something about camping and baked beans where you probably don't eat baked beans too often outside of camping, but there's just something that's good about it. Yeah. A couple shout-outs. Let's see. John Johnson, Skull from the Med City. What's going on? Rumad Mazel, Andy, what happened to Corey from Friday? Couldn't stop thinking about it all weekend. Yeah, so if you didn't see it, so on Friday... there was a longtime viewer named and he was talking about some very dark things. So emailed YouTube, whatever we could do, Facebook, just like I don't know, but we did what we could, tried to report self-harm, and I don't know. I mean, without like good like personal details like name or whatever, it's like, how do you follow up on something like this? I don't know. John Johnson, Skull from the Med City. What's up, Roch? Aiden Statfield, Sioux Falls. What's going on? Purple Rain, Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Alex Steinman, St. Paul. Seth, Skull from Faribault. Yeah, it's Faribault, isn't it? A lot of people say Faribault. Duke the Gang Yang, Skull, Fort Smith, Arkansas. What's going on? Love your tomatoes in Arkansas. Bridge Paul, Holland for all y'all. Watching Jerry Burns. You tell if you're a winner or not. Yeah. World War II General Vince Vaughn, Lexington Circle Pines, up in Blaine. What's going on? Purple Rain. EOD Executioner. Live in Virginia, but family is from White Bear Lake. What's going on? Also, I love Virginia. I love most states. Like, what states don't I like? I don't know. Massachusetts, probably. Never been to Massachusetts, but it probably sucks. Zach Bell, Skull from NoCo. What's going on? Brian Kaukin, Skull from Greater Minnesota, a.k.a. Montrose. Yeah. We're seriously debating getting out of the cities, just like going back to rural Minnesota. I grew up rural. I mean, it'd be nice to have some land. Preacher Paul, Silkiston, home of the Flippin' Biscuits. What's going on? Also, Zach Dragon, Woodbury, Seth in Wisconsin. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along on the live chat. All right, next up is, where are we? Oh, John Johnson. Gotta be walking tacos. Yeah, like, there are things that you only eat camping. Walking tacos is up there. Like the pudgy pies, like we mentioned before. All right, so the pudgy pies, if you know what pudgy pies are, so they're cast iron grates that just like fit together. It's sort of like you ever seen like those, actually it would be easy. Pudgy pie. Yeah. All right. So cast iron grates. You take 2 pieces of bread, and it's got to be white bread because you're camping and ain't like 12 grain sprouted bullshit around here. And then you take a can of the most high fructose corn syrup pie filling you can possibly find. Stick butter this thing. Actually, no, don't use butter. Use country crock. Use margarine. You use all those partially hydrogenated oils, and then you just. And it's good. And there's lots of variants too. You can make s'mores ones. It's so stupid, but my favorite is like ham and cheese. It's basically just a grilled ham and cheese sandwich, but I don't care. I don't care at all. Like you can make pizza pudgy pies, which is really fun. Yeah. All right. Next up is Charlie Boltman. Who do you think is the most overrated wide receiver of all time? I feel like you're gonna say Jerry Rice. He's very presumptive of what I'm gonna say on things. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. I think it could be Michael Irvin. Huh. Well, Michael Irvin doesn't have the stats, mainly because Dallas was a run-first team. I mean, you look at Troy Aikman's passing stats, and they're relatively pedestrian. But I think what separated Michael Irvin is that he was clearly their wide receiver one. He was often going up against other teams, quarterback ones. Look at like the Darrell Greens and the what's his name, Eric Allen's in Philly, as well as like the Deion Sanders when he wasn't a Cowboy of the world. And like he came up with some really big time clutch catches, especially in the Super Bowls and playoff runs. So I don't think Michael Irvin. Jerry Rice is certainly up there in terms of stat padding, as well as QB privilege, as well as, I mean, you're working with Bill Walsh, Mike Holmgren, Steve Mariucci, Shanahan, Kubiak, which is much more important here. Denny Green was his wide receivers coach when he first came in the league. So, yeah, he worked with some pretty decent coaches, as well as you got to work with Gruden and what's his face in Oakland. So, yeah. Overrated, other overrated receivers. Man, I think Wes Welker might be up there. I don't think that we've properly gauged the value of the slot receivers. I think that will take another decade or two to accurately, because it's almost like a different position than outside the number receiver. Let's see who else. Andre Reed. I don't think Andre Reed's a Hall of Famer. Him in the K-Gun offense. Yeah, put Chris Carter in the K-Gun. Zach Dragon. Which one of our rookies do you think will have the greatest career? Also, who was your favorite day 3 pick? Mine was James Lynch. I think Cameron Dantzler has a really good shot. I mean, I think that he's got the size, he's got the length, add a little bit of weight. Size, I mean, he's got the height and the length, as well as he's got age on his side. He just turned 21, and man, he did not give an F. He did not back down from anyone in the big bad SEC West. So I'm in on him. Favorite day 3 pick, Kyle Hinton out of Washburn. Let's go Ichabods. I'd be willing to wager right now 1,000 Jamaican dollars. Actually, what's the conversion rate right now? Yes, it's amazing. So 1,000 Jamaican dollars is $6.90. Nice. So I'll wager 1,000 Jamaican dollars that Kyle Hinton will start within 2 years. By 2022, Kyle Hinton will be starting for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. Bawa Taba. Should I keep my Christian Ponder jersey or throw it away? Keep it. That's a memento, man. It's amazing. Yeah. Let's see here. A couple other shout outs. Lucas Kofel, Kirksville, Missouri. Sean C., Hudson, Wisconsin. What's going on? Heather Eldridge Skull from Yadkinville, North Carolina. What is up? Come on, raise up. I got. Next up is Logan DeGraff. Can you make a video of all the Madden ratings? Yeah, we'll think about it. I feel like I'm Madden rating it out because all it is like just me getting mad about how low ratings are. Charlie Boltman. I go camping at the ocean a lot, so clam chowder is up there. I always have beef jerky on hand. Not gonna lie, I have very little faith in Jeff Gladney. Still pretty shocked that we picked a 23, 24-year-old quarterback out of a conference that's only produced 2 quarterbacks worth mentioning in the last decade. What's your confidence level? It's actually pretty high. So trends and forces, like I get it. It's pretty easy, but it's like, don't draft a USC quarterback, but Sam Darnold might be pretty good, or don't draft this guy or that guy because he's from this school or that conference. Now, I'm always more into scouting the individual player and the traits as opposed to scouting the helmet or what conference they play in. So I do have faith in Gladney, and also you could take it on the other side of the coin, is that since they do play in the Big 12, I mean they're facing passing offenses and stud wide receivers and high flying air raid offenses every single week. So you look at what Gladney did against CD Lamb when they matched up, Denzel Mims, except Mims caught the game winning touchdown in overtime, but it was the safety's fault. We've been over this, but yeah, I mean Jeff Gladney clanged a bang against some of the top tier preeminent wide receivers coming out, and he came out ahead most of the time. I just love his alpha dogness, his tenaciousness, his recovery speed. I think that overall, I think he's just a really fun cornerback for Mike Zimmer to have. And I was bummed about his age. Frankly, he probably could have came out after the 2018 season, but yeah, it is what it is. Sure meeps a lot. Chef Boyardee out of the can. Yeah, you eat a lot more canned foods when you're camping. Unless you're trying to pack out light, and then you'll carry a lot of freeze dry or dehydrated food. But yeah, if you're just like camping with the family, I don't think you go through more canned goods than you do when you're camping, which makes sense. Luke Zika, fresh caught walleye with tartar sauce, butch beans, fried potatoes and onions. Get some. So my favorite tartar sauce is You can go fully hoity-toity, make your own mayo, spin up some olive oil and some eggs, but man, that's for camping. That's too much muss, too much fuss. So just take your jar of mayo. We use a lot of avocado mayo, and then also for tartar sauce, a little bit of lemon juice. And then you take a pickle and dice that thing up, as well as add a little bit of dill in there. Whew, you'll win the day. Go get some. Maybe a little bit of fresh pepper. Viking Jerome, eggs and bacon sizzling in open air with morning coffee. There really is nothing better. Really isn't. Although, unless you have a really good cooler, if you're going camping for a week, like that bacon, day 7, not so much. Like unless you got a Yeti or quasi equivalent, it could be a little bit rough. Oakview. Top 5 long-term jersey options to buy right now for the Vikes. Someone will be there, retire potentially, or turkey burger and fries with the ice cold A&W. Wait, where do you get that camping? Do you camp at A&W? I don't know. All right, so top 5 Vikings jerseys. I think Daniil's a pretty safe bet. And Kendricks is a pretty safe bet. I don't think Thielen will ever go anywhere, and I think he'll be Mr. Minnesota Emeritus. I wouldn't get Dalvin. I wouldn't get Cousins. I wouldn't get Rudy. Oh, Irv would be a good bet. Oh, Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill would be a pretty easy bet. Who else? I'd go Gladney or Justin Jefferson, I guess. Actually, some of the rookies don't buy their jersey until 53-man cuts because a lot of them are going to change numbers. Like, so Ezra Cleveland is number 72 right now, except he wore 76 in college and high school. Aviante Collins wearing 76 right now, but you just wait. He's going to. Once the Vikings get rid of Aviante, Cleveland's going to switch to 76. Oh, pick Ezra Cleveland too. As well as, so James Lynch is currently number 66, which I think is hilarious. But I think that the Vikings do punt on Shamar Stephen in a cap casualty move. I think he could easily absorb number 93, which, we talked about. I'm not big about retiring numbers, but I think reserving numbers for people who deserve them makes sense. So John Randall, Kevin Williams, Shamar Stephen, and then James Lynch, pass it on, pass the torch. Do the same thing with 84. Next up is Mo Abdul, 99. Pack a lot of snacks and put food in a Ziploc with a lot of water. Makes sense. Ethan Griffith, the simplicity of making brats and hot dogs just can't be passed up. That's true. There's something about cylindrical, phallic-shaped food when you're camping. Just you only get one pop for the rest of your life. Where you choose, I'm going Dr. Pepper. don't drink a lot of pop anymore. But I guess if I had to pick one, like sometimes you just can't beat like a good ass root beer. Killer Brew is a local company that makes a good one. I forget what like the good root beer brands. Like Goose Island makes root beer. It's funny. Oh, like 1919. Yeah, that might be up there. But I will say, do they still make Sprite Remix? Man, like you can taste this picture. Like, well, if you're a '90s kid, like when Sprite Remix came out, like I crapped myself. Like I really did. Like this is amazing. Plus, I think like Grant Hill was the spokesperson for Sprite Remix. Oh man. And here's the thing, too. Like they have all these different flavors, except they all tasted the same. Yeah, maybe we have this. I can't even remember the last time I had it like a Sprite, like a full-on diesel Sprite. But also, Surge. I think they brought Surge back, but yeah, I remember in the '90s, like late '90s, Surge was the shiz. Actually, wait, we gotta look at the Wikipedia page. Surge drank. Calling it a drink is like it's very so 97 to 2003. Coca-Cola released a soft drink in 2014 on Amazon. Along test market, Surge was re-released primarily at convenience stores in eastern and some mountain states. Surge was re-released internationally in Burger King. Except, who goes to Burger King? Damn it. Anyways, it's all terrible for you, but yeah, I'll say like a really good like 1919 root beer. Next up is AJ Bars. Brats cooked over the fire. Also, I feel like if you cook hot dogs or brats over the fire, like you can't use like the metal like skewers and stuff. I feel like you have to go out into the woods and find a tree branch. Like you have to go find a stick. You have to whittle it down. You have to do all of that. Like the wife always gets pissed when I do that. But specifically for marshmallows. So if you're roasting a marshmallow on a metal, like one of those metal toaster things, it's really easy for the marshmallow just to rotate on the metal, because it's like the same theory is what they have. Like fancy restaurants will have like metal chopsticks where like it's extremely hard to pick things up, because what makes the bamboo chopsticks so great is that the wood provides friction with the food and allows you to grip things, where metal is just smooth. Everything slips off. Same thing with the marshmallow. So if you have a metal skewer that you're cooking things with, it just like rolls off. Unless it's like a square shape, a lot like kebab skewers. But I don't know what we accomplished there. Oh, get a stick. Chips, potatoes, beans, together. What are you talking about all this stuff? Washington coming out at exact same time. The name change and the sexual harassment allegations. I know they're two different things, but why they come out at the same time? Well, the harassment allegations weren't going to drop. So WAPO had been doing a lot of work on that. So I do believe that it was a perfect storm. Well, that gets overused, but sponsors were getting ready to pull out, not because of the name, but because they've been sponsoring for years with the name. And to a degree, it is social pressure because of the climate right now. But also, I mean, the part owners, they knew about the allegations, the bomb that was going to come off. So they wanted to sell their pieces, get away from things, as well as sponsors, I think, knew. So I actually honestly do think that this name change came about not because Daniel Snyder had a sudden change of heart. He's like, yeah, that name is bad. No, it was more, well, sponsors and my co-owners are trying to pull out, as well as this bombshell is going to come out. Hey, we changed the name. Yeah. So I think it was very convenient timing. Patrick Harms. Veggies with steak grilled in foil. Yeah. Like, you get some nice asparagus grilled over the fire. put that thing in foil, bury it in the ashes. It's good. I don't know exactly what it's called. Also, last week I commented on Brandon Scherf and said that he wasn't signing his franchise tender. I meant to say Washington said they will not sign him to a long-term extension, reported by ESPN's John Keim. There you go. Zach Ballas. Nothing better than a nice dog. Well, you gotta be careful when you say that to an Asian guy. One of the things I do definitely want to do, so when we go back to the motherland. All right, so when we go back to Asia, we'll wait till the boy and the girl are a little bit older so they can actually appreciate what's going on, as opposed to just the girl just watching her tablet and the boy just like crying all over the place. But going to Asia, I do want to try a domestic dog. Like, since it's so common, since it's so part of the cultural zeitgeist over there, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna feel so weird about it though, because I own dogs, love dogs. They truly are man's best friend, but I also wonder what they taste like, So when our dog passed away a couple months ago, where I was afraid to admit this. So when he passed away, he had some health, some short-term health issues that just overtook him. But I looked to the wife and I was just like, do we cut the back straps off him? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. All right, next up is Brian Cook. Money aside, who would you rather have, Cook, Madison, or AP Chester Taylor? Well, I mean, prime AP and prime Chester Taylor was tough to beat. So I would take them because it's two of them. Even though I love Madison, and Dalvin, if he stays healthy, is extremely dynamic. But AP, in terms of like a two-down thumper, he honestly was the best in the business. Plus, when he had that breakaway speed when he was young, get some. Plus, Chester Taylor, I think, was extremely underrated. Like he compensated for all of AP's deficiencies, especially in the run, in the pass blocking game as well as receiving. So they were a great tandem. Hunter or Page? Well, I mean, I'll take Danielle Hunter and prime Alan Page, even though I don't know how good Alan Page would do nowadays being a 250-pound defensive tackle. Cousins Thielen or Culpepper Moss. Culpepper Moss. Rhodes, Waynes Mack, or Hughes Gladney Dantzler. Give me the young kids. Vikings Gamer says hot dogs. And there we go. Livestream. Hope you guys had a phenomenal Monday and just get after it. Go out and make a difference in someone's life today. Thank you very much for coming along. Oh, also, first line in the description is the link to our other channel, Football News Today. Subscribe over there. Some of our macro NFL takes as I burp. Do that right. Meow. Have yourself a wonderful day. See you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Skull. Production value.